Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Dad drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
All right. So, are we good? All right, cool.
All right.
I am Mike, and this is Rusty.
Yeah, I'm Rusty.
And we record a King of the Hill rewatch podcast.
Yeah.
And we do it, we generally release 2 episodes a week.
So far.
So far.
For the last
Yeah, we're
last
thinking
couple
there may be
months.
more. Anyway, we are we're
Bwaaa.
we're the culmination of this whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. You and I.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Hey there, everybody. I'm Mike, and this is Rusty. Welcome to
Bwaaa.
King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast.
Yeah.
Rusty, this is the first time we've ever been filmed.
Yeah, this is the first time that we have been on camera. We've got a lot of content out there, over 2,000 minutes.
There's a lot
hours,
there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff out there already. Yeah, we got 3 seasons of King of the Hill halfway through that. So
we're on what, episode 12, I think? 12, 13?
Yeah, about
something
halfway.
like that.
I think it's halfway through
season
season
3, episode 12 or 13, something like that.
yeah, somewhere there.
But we release a regular episode on Tuesdays, which is a
Mondays.
Mondays.
Which is
So
episodic content, yeah.
It's been a long damn day. We release a regular episode on Tuesdays, which is a recap of an episode, an
Mondays.
entire
You said Tuesday
Mondays,
twice.
same thing.
Mondays.
Which is a recap of an actual episode,
And we do it
in chronological order.
chronological order.
Right. And then on Fridays we release just kind of I don't know, what do we call them?
Friday, that boy ain't right Fridays.
That boy
It's
ain't
just a
right
random.
Fridays, yeah.
It's just a random discussion surrounding King of the Hill as a show, whatever, plot
Yeah.
lines, plot
Yeah.
holes,
I think
geography, like all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
this
just related to the show.
This last Friday, it was where is Arlen, Texas actually located?
Yeah, which was kind of funny. It was so there was a guy at OSU, Oklahoma State University, that did I guess it was for some media class or something.
Yeah.
He did a study about the geography of where Arlen could potentially be located at in
Right.
Texas.
Right.
And that's what we covered on our last Friday episode.
Yeah, and then the Friday before that was it was plot holes.
Plot holes. Yeah,
Right.
different like continuity issues with the TV show and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So what are we doing today for this what will soon
I had a
be
fun
a
one.
Friday episode? And by
Yeah.
the way, we are brought to you by Sonic.
And Starbucks.
Yep.
All right. It says a whole lot of milk. Oh no, whole milk And 10 sugars.
I
Okay.
wish it said a whole lot of milk.
All right.
Whole lot of milk and 10 sugars.
Oh, it says 10 light whole milks and 1 sugar.
Okay.
All
right.
That's a lot of milk.
Glad
All
we-
right, so
we cleared that up.
All right, we cleared that up.
Yeah.
So the episode that I've got planned for us today, Mike, was just a exploration into what type of plot lines we could get from a revival episode 20 years after the fact.
Yeah.
Well, not quite 20 years, but 15 years down the road, what the show could look like.
So I think this originally started because they were talking about rebooting King of the Hill.
They're still talking about it.
Yeah.
I've talked to the animation director, King of the Hill, Wes Archer, and he can't confirm or deny anything. So when
Sure.
you tell me I can't confirm or deny what's happening, that kind of lets me know, hey,
Yeah.
there's too much going on right now. But he is going to be eventually a guest. We just got to wait for him.
Does it kind of look like we have jaundice? Is that
I feel jaundiced.
it's we're
Is
a
it?
little
I don't
yellow.
know. Is there
Little
heat
yellow,
coming
yeah.
off these lights?
Hey,
I
and by
mean,
the way,
wrap me in foil.
No, the lights have to be there. That way we can't see the lack of an audience.
Okay.
So I do want to say, R.I.P. Mason. He's not here with us today.
Oh, he's not. Is he still here with us in this
Oh, yeah,
realm
no,
of
he's still
existence?
alive. He's
Okay,
still alive.
okay. All right, I just want
I
to make
just-
sure. I was
I
like, I
just
don't know.
mean-
Does this need to be a memorial
No,
service?
no.
or?
I just mean he's missing. He
Okay.
he had to go to his TV job.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, he's working overnight.
That's all right.
He's
He's got to
working
get, he's
overnight.
got to get paid.
He does have to get paid. Yeah. Well, I mean, we pay him, but sure.
Well, yeah.
Not nearly enough. But
He's
yeah.
got to eat, at least.
Yeah.
little bit of
if
rent,
you have
maybe.
not listened to our show, please listen to the episodes. I don't know about 3 months ago, probably, and forward.
I think so, yeah.
Because that's about when producer
When Mason joined in with us.
us.
So
Yeah.
we started this show out just me and Mike, just
Yeah.
spitballing ideas, and we started off with a David Letterman podcast, and then we fell on the King of the Hill. Most of our listeners know this, but for this wicked, crazy, packed out audience, I just had to let them know what's going on. I'm surprised that they could even hear us in the
Sure,
recording
sure.
over the roar.
over all the ruckus behavior.
Yeah, it's like we're in Wembley or something here.
Well, I mean, we started the Letterman podcast, which I'm not saying it's completely dead. I'm saying it's not feeling real good.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's completely dead. And I don't even remember, honestly, how we fell into the King of the Hill thing.
The King of the Hill thing was just like us sitting there before recording David Letterman,
I think we just started-
discussing just getting
Yeah.
to know each other in general,
Yeah.
and realized, we both watch King of the Hill
Yeah.
every night, so why not talk about something that that we both know a
Sure.
crap ton about or watch a lot of.
Sure.
So, like I was saying, for this episode, it's just plot lines, just random plot lines and
Plot
stuff that they could be. So the first one I had, which I thought was really
is this my favorite one?
fitting, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fitting for the event for RogueCon. So Bobby Hill becoming an influencer. What do you feel about that?
So I feel
How do you
like
feel like that would play out?
I feel like Bobby falls right into it.
Yeah.
Bobby.
The vines and all that
when
stuff.
but the only thing I'm thinking about influencer, how far back do you think influencers go?
I guess influencers, for me, is the beginning of social media, the scene girls that were on
Yeah.
MySpace and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I guess that was
Oh, so
the
you're
first
going back that
influencing.
far.
Well, that for me, that's the first time I ever remember seeing advertising being done with just random people from the social media. It was around the MySpace era.
But I mean, how old are we talking about Bobby being at this point?
Oh, well, in 2005, Bobby would be probably MySpace 05. So Bobby would probably be, in his 20s? Early
yeah.
20s?
Okay.
Or
All right, so that
18,
makes sense.
19. So he would be
That
college
makes total
age.
sense. Yeah, I think that
Going
Bobby.
into college.
I think that Bobby has gone to community college,
Okay.
right? And I think Bobby is flirting with dropping out of community college.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
Bobby thinks, this influencer thing, maybe this is a way I don't have to go back to college.
I kind of see it in that way too, but little different. So I see it as he's in community college, and something viral happens for him.
Oh, yeah, that's
So I see Bobby as instantly attaching himself to virality and trying to be viral, doing things intentionally to be viral, like running through a convenience store in his underwear or something like that, and filming it.
What I'm thinking is something happens to him, right, that he did not plan for.
Yeah.
But then once it happens, he just continues to do it as like a viral sensation kind of thing, right?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
let's say he
Like
trips
Carrot
and
Top.
falls in a puddle or something, right?
Yeah.
And somebody films it, and that goes viral, and
And he becomes the guy who trips in public.
Well, and what I'm thinking is
there's somebody that is that. Her name is Paige again.
Yeah.
She
falls in puddles?
Well, she doesn't fall in puddles. She does like what was it? Like fast food falls, where she was holding like a ton of fast food and she like stumbles and just it goes ridiculously like cartoonishly everywhere.
That's a thing?
That was a thing. She actually went viral for it, and she made a career out of her virality.
Then she broke her hip.
No, she never broke her hip. But I'm trying to remember Tammy. The Trailer Park Tammy comedian, she tours with her, and they have a podcast together.
And what does she do? Just come out and throw food at the audience?
I don't know what they do anymore. There was one thing they did where Paige was laid naked on a table.
Naked?
And they had
Naked.
put a bunch of powder in her butthole, and she farted the powder out, and they laughed. And it went viral. It was like,
wonderful content.
15 million people watched that.
Yeah. So I think that Bobby maybe trips and falls into a puddle. This is just an example, right?
Yeah, for sure.
He trips and falls into a puddle, and somebody with a flip phone films it, uploads it to wherever is popular at the time. Let's say it's a MySpace or a Vine or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it takes over. It's like he gets all these hits out of it. So then Bobby, the rest of the episode is just looking for bigger and bigger puddles to fall into. And then he finally like falls in a lake or something.
Yeah.
And somebody like Dale or we've discussed what the future looks like in King of the Hill. And I think Hank is dead. I think he's just dead.
You think Hank's dead by this point?
I think Hank is dead. And if Hank is dead, then Bobby is the new Hank. Right? For the most part.
Well, if he's the new Hank, he couldn't be an influencer.
Right. But I think Peggy lives on. And so maybe Peggy saves him,
Well, it's funny you saying Peggy because that kind of segues us into the next.
What's the next one? What do you got?
The next one is Peggy getting into crypto.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Cryptocurrency. So Peggy becoming like scammed or schemed into buying or becoming a part of some type of.
Did you ever do any crypto stuff?
Yeah, I did do crypto stuff. I actually did pretty good in it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did all right. It actually carried me through COVID and stuff like that.
Yeah?
So I cashed out my 401k at M&M Mars whenever I quit.
Really?
Yeah, I cashed it out.
And you bought crypto?
Put half my 401k into crypto.
Wow.
Yeah. It did all right. I mean, it did pretty good.
So you had
I didn't have to work for like 3.5 years.
200 and a half?
I have none anymore. I have zero. I mean, I still have money, but I have zero crypto.
You have
anymore.
zero crypto now?
It's one of those things like back in the day, the Dutch, they had tulips. They had like this explosion of tulips, and there was like a whole market surrounding tulips where you could purchase things with tulips.
Okay.
And this is in like the 14. I mean, I'm not going to date it because I don't know exactly the date, but it's way back when.
Whatever. Yeah.
And it's the same kind of thing.
It's just when people could buy things with tulips.
Whenever that was.
Sure.
So eventually that popped.
Yeah.
That bubble or whatever it was popped. So it was
Well,
like one of those trains you ride to the first station and you get off.
Yeah.
You don't ride it to the end of the track kind of thing.
Right.
So,
Sure,
I got out of it like ASAP.
So are you saying that the crypto thing is about to pop, or you think it already has popped? Do you think the FTX thing was the pop?
Oh, I think it could still go on, but it's just scamming. It's just people scamming each other. It's like one group of people scamming one, and it's just like a continued cycle till the SEC gets control of it.
It does seem like a scam. So yeah, I could see Peggy getting into crypto because she thinks she is so damn smart. We've talked about this 1,000 times, how she thinks she's smarter than anybody in the room, and she's usually an idiot when it comes to things.
Oh yeah, she's usually. That's what I'm saying. I could just see her talking about all kinds of crypto stuff and crypto wallets and crypto
and not only that, I think
not knowing anything and leading people astray in the process. I could see Bill getting attached to it. And losing all his money, losing his house.
Sure.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see, like, especially if Hank is dead, which I'm gonna continue assuming he's dead.
Okay.
I can see her like seeing a late night infomercial or something about buying some sort of weird coin.
Yeah.
Right. And she just goes all in.
goes
right?
all in on it, or
Yeah,
sees it on.
yeah.
I imagine now she would have a cell phone and have social
Sure,
medias, and
sure.
she sees like, oh, click here. We're doing a crypto dump now. You know, kind of
honestly,
thing. Click on it.
Honestly, that would be a great episode because Dale would be completely against it because there's some sort of conspiracy or something behind it, right?
Yeah.
And so, I could see that. That would be a decent
I can see that.
episode.
Yeah, I think so
I think
too.
that one. The Bobby one, I think writes itself. That one would take a little work, but I still think it's a good episode.
And what I think would even be even better, we'll segue into the next one. So, what I think personally would be an even better episode was there was an episode where they had formed a bluegrass band and scammed Con Supernusen phone so they could take Connie with them because Connie wanted to be a barefoot hillbilly and play the fiddle.
Sure.
Yeah. So they take, and she's an experienced violinist, but as we all know, a violin is a fiddle when you flip it and attach it, stick it to your hip. So she.
And from what I've heard, you're not allowed to have a band in Texas without a fiddle in it.
That's what they say.
It may be worded a little differently than that,
And
but I've heard
I
that.
heard that in Georgia there was a battle with the devil, and it involved violins.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Not fiddles.
Yeah.
Wait, was that a fiddle?
What's that?
Was that a fiddle in Georgia?
The devil went down to Georgia.
Devil went down to Georgia. He played a fiddle, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he played a
Yeah,
fiddle.
it's a fiddle.
Yeah,
Okay.
he played a fiddle.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
What's the difference in a fiddle and a violin?
Yeah.
Positioning on your body. So a violin you put underneath your chin, a fiddle you put on your hip. Right?
Okay. All right.
I don't
Okay.
know.
But it's the
Is
same
that
damn
it?
instrument.
Well,
though,
because
right?
I mean, because Charlie Daniels plays the fiddle up here.
He
I think
doesn't
it's
anymore,
stylistic.
but sure.
I think it might be stylistic differences.
Okay,
And
all right.
maybe the instrument is shaped different.
a lot of tapping of the foot.
Yeah, maybe it's maybe you're not gonna have like a violin from like the 1400s, and you're not gonna play like country fiddle on it. I don't think.
There's
I
a
don't think
lot
you're
of-
playing you're not playing The Devil Went Down to Georgia on a fiddle or on a violin from the 1400s.
If you've never listened to this show, we don't normally have this many 1400s references.
We really don't. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's just spot on. I mean, the historical
Yeah, I get you.
references
Yeah.
are they're just there for me.
Bitcoin and 1400s. Boy, we are
That's the
zeroing
best way
in
to.
on that.
Well,
on
that's
that
the best
perfect
way to
listener
describe
is what
Bitcoin.
we're
I think
doing.
any of that coin stuff. That's just the best way to
All
describe
right,
it.
so they're getting
the bluegrass band back together. Blue Moon of Kentucky,
Getting it
keep
back
on
together?
shining.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they should get back together. I think that'd be a great episode.
I think it would be a good episode. I don't 100% remember the one where she.
Okay, so what it is there's like a competition or a show or something that we're gonna go do, and of course it's like Dale,
America's Best
Hank.
Violinist.
Yeah, or it was just a bluegrass thing in Branson is where it was at specifically.
Oh, okay. All
So they wanted to go to Branson to go do this show, and Con didn't want to let Connie go.
Oh.
Con Jr. or whatever you want to call her.
Because it's hillbillies.
Yeah, because
Sure.
it's hillbillies. It's not sophisticated enough.
You're saying
music.
Connie, not men.
Connie, not men.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that now.
So they want to go to Branson to go play music, and her dad won't let her go. So they make up I don't know what they end up making up to where she's able to go, but they end up going, and she ends up doing it anyway. And the whole, I think, arc and the ending point of the show was that Con needs to let up on Connie and let her explore some of the things artistically that she wants to explore, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I mean,
but I think that would be a good episode.
I think it's fairly easy. You can do a lot of callbacks. You
Yeah,
can do all that kind of stuff.
or
Sure.
like even if they got it to where they were like semi-famous, and they like how the Propaniacs toured, like do something like that to where they tour and they have like a little Texas tour thing with them. I think that would be cool.
All right. I'm still liking the Bobby viral thing.
I like the Bobby viral thing.
That's
I
my
like that one
favorite
the
so
best. That's
far.
my favorite so far. Another one that I like too was the Bill and Boomhauer discovered dating apps.
Oh yeah,
And how that would go for either person. I think Bill would end up on a sex offender registry for sending dick pics or something to somebody.
What if it went the other way though? Like you're expecting Bill to end up like that, right? But he ends up being like this big sugar daddy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Boomhauer.
Well, I think he would get catfished enough to be called a sugar daddy that gets no sugar.
Sure. Well, he's a saccharine daddy.
He's just a daddy with money,
like
passing it out.
It's the army money. You get to the point where like Bill is really like high rolling and stuff, in this app dating world. Boomhauer is really striking out because they don't look like they do in their pictures or something like
Yeah,
that. But then you come to the end of the episode, and Bill is being catfished the whole time.
Yeah.
Boomhauer, however, finally meets the perfect whatever.
Yeah, that's what I saw the episode as is Boomhauer. The way I see it is Boomhauer has no issues with women at all, period, whether it's on an app or whether it's at a bar or a library, a coffee store, anywhere, Walmart, whatever, or Megalomart. Yeah, anywhere he goes, you know what I mean? So I feel like
at the bank.
Sure. Once he transfers it to the app, I feel like he has no issue there, but I feel like he's looking for something less superficial.
Yeah, sure.
So he's looking for something that's more, like he's looking for more on this app.
Boomhauer or Bill?
Boomhauer.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
Bill doesn't care. I think Bill's looking at any attention he could get from a woman, negative or positive.
And he gets a lot of attention from one.
Yeah.
And then
it ends up just being a
whole
catfish
catfishing
somewhere.
thing.
And then Boomhauer.
I can see that. Yep.
Boomhauer does like a string of dates, and he ends up finding the girl of his dreams like a couple of dates in.
Sure.
But he's like, well, I've already set up all these dates, and he feels like obligated to see each of them out.
Yeah.
And then as he goes through them, he gets sadder and sadder and sadder, realizing, I just need to go call this girl kind of thing. Yeah. And that'd be like the climax of the episode. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I like that one.
I think I could write that one.
Yeah, you could. It writes itself. AI apps.
Yeah, man.
Writes itself. All right, so this one I thought was kind of fitting for the political climate and some of the stuff that's happened over the last couple of years. So Dale Gribble being a part, like an episode where Dale Gribble is a part of the January 6th Capitol being
easy.
stormed.
Yeah, that's super easy.
I think that would be a really episode that would just write itself.
So
and I could see it as to where like the FBI like raids like Dale's house and they find all this stuff, and then we find out that he knows who killed JFK, and they name who the JFK killer was. Like he has all this evidence and stuff. I think that would be some kind of crazy where we find out that all the conspiracy theories that Dale has thought through like the whole show all come to a like head, and he has all the proof for all this stuff after everybody's called him crazy.
It feels
I
like
think that'd be a good episode.
It almost feels like the ending though.
Or a live-action movie.
Oh, live-action movie would be nice.
Even if not a live-action movie, just a King of the Hill movie, and the whole premise of it is Dale, during all the stuff that's been going on, Dale attaching himself to this QAnon stuff and running with that.
Yeah, I can see that.
And having a whole like movie about Dale and all the conspiracy theories, but having a Dale-centric movie for the first King of the Hill movie would be weird.
So maybe they do raid his house, they find all this stuff, and they're about to send him to like Leavenworth or something, right? Which I don't even know if Leavenworth's still a place, but
Leavenworth is a place.
Okay, so let's say they're going to send him to Leavenworth, and then he talks them or something.
It's like a military prison. It's wherever if you screw up in the military, you go to Leavenworth.
Okay, well.
Or in any, I mean, if there's a dark hole that they want to put you in and you just disappear, CIA, that'd probably be the place they would put you in.
So I thought that was my ex-wife, but so
the dark hole, the succubus.
Maybe he's gonna go to prison for like a really long time, right, or whatever, and some like movie producer or documentary filmmaker or something like that comes in, and they end up filming all this stuff about him, and the government uses it as propaganda, and so he like gets out of it.
Yeah.
Somehow.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I think that'd be a good episode.
Yeah.
That'd be really good.
Okay.
I like that. I like that idea.
I think that's pretty
I just
easy
like
to write, too.
I could just imagine the animated footage of him like scaling the Capitol wall and like falling. He's one of the people that's like falling backwards with the baklava
ski mask on too.
On his face.
Yeah,
with like a knife in his mouth and like trying to climb this like trellis or whatever it is they had there.
Just keeps falling down.
Just falling a few times before somebody like grabs him and like throws him up there. I could see that. Like I think the comedy that they could get out of that would be great. But that's the one thing about King of the Hill. It was always kind of left politics aside. It was more of a show about morale. They showed like a lot of morality tales and ethics and stuff like that. But one of the things that I think that's great about the show is it really is like an intersection of left and right. Like where they come together and they exist in the same space and everybody gets along, kind of thing.
I mean, we've talked about that before. How honestly,
it's very like centrist.
The show, in and of itself, it seems like it would be a very conservative, right-wing show.
Yeah,
but it really isn't. Like
from and that's the thing is from its outside perspective. If you just look at the characters,
Yeah.
you just see the guy on the mower mowing the yard in an all white
Yeah,
shirt with
yeah.
brown boots on with a beer in his hand. It's
Sure.
the perspective that it puts on it, but then you actually dissect it like we have for a year.
Yeah.
We're coming up on, I think, a full year. Actually,
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
What
I
are
think
we doing
are.
with
I
our
think
lives?
I think we're at a full year now. I think
Sure.
this January 20-ish.
Really?
Yeah, it's a full year. Yeah,
Wow.
this is our full year.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, well,
Rusty.
happy birthday. We made it a full year of podcasting
Excellent.
without the fade. So we did it, 2
All
episodes a
right.
week.
Well, I think that our time has probably come about full circle here.
Yeah.
We're
good.
I want to thank everybody for sticking around.
Yeah, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been
Appreciate
wonderful.
it, guys. Thank you so much.
Not
Hope y'all
only
enjoyed it.
not
We
only-
actually do really well. Our metrics and everything are really, really good.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
we're doing great. We're doing
we do
great.
really, really great. You know,
We
it's a
are,
really, really good podcast.
we're the number 2 show on Rogue Media Network.
Yeah.
We do really well. Bloody Happy Hour, all of a sudden in the last couple of months, has really started
They had a
kicking
good
our
one.
ass.
Yeah, they
But,
started kicking our ass, but we've been number one for
But
a month, and we're gonna finish out this week as number one podcast. Again, it's been a little while, but
that's
we'll
great.
finish out as number one
All
this
right,
week.
cool. Well,
Yeah, we're doing good.
Rusty, tell them where they can find us and how they can get a hold of us.
I have a link tree set up. It's linktr.ee/BWAAAKOTH, and that has all of the links to everything. I just started a YouTube channel recently for our deal, and we're almost at 1,000 views total. So for the
That's
page.
great.
So we're getting it's
Good.
moving along. So
Yeah, and the
appreciate
YouTube-
everybody that's been going to that as well.
The YouTube, honestly, I mean, I know you do a lot of work on it, but it's
It's secondary, really, just to see what can happen.
Yeah, it's just to get the content out there.
Yeah,
and
it's just to
things
put
like
it
that,
in another place because there's a lot of people.
But it's cool. You can put it on the background. It's like a
Yeah,
It's
well,
almost
there's
like
a lot of people that
lo-fi
have
video
asked.
or something like that. You know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that have asked as far as fans go, where are you at on YouTube?
Yeah.
Because a lot of work filters on computers, they can't go and look at a lot of different stuff. They some people can't even pull up like Spotify or anything like that. So they literally can only use
Yeah.
YouTube
Yeah.
at work.
Sure.
So it was a request from a few people.
And
So
we
just to
are-
kind of meet their request, I went ahead and just threw it up just to see
And
what would
we're-
happen, and it's been doing okay.
And we're not going to hit any of those filters. Like we're 99% family friendly.
Yeah, we're
the
not.
most
I mean,
part,
for
you know?
YouTube, we're not going to hit any filters.
May not be
anyway,
your
yeah.
family, but we're still family friendly.
As long as
Sure.
YouTube works, you'll be able to
That's right.
watch it.
That's right.
Or listen to it.
And I think that we would be remiss. I think we would be remiss without saying thank you to Artie.
Yeah, thank you, Artie. We appreciate you, Artie. He
Artie,
said that he
for those of you who
he's here in spirit.
Yeah, for those of you who are listening to us for the first time, Artie is a guy that has kind of come along for the ride with us. He
Quite
messages-
early on.
Yeah,
and
he
messages
messaged us
frequently.
pretty early, and we have made him our official fact checker.
Yeah, he does. He does some fact checking. So before each episode, he sends me a rundown of facts because he pre-watches the episode like we do. And really, whenever I do an episode too, is the only thing I watch all week that's King of the Hill related is the one episode that we're going to record. So
Yeah.
I've watched that episode like 30 times by the time we watch it too. But Artie does the same thing, but he writes notes. And Mike too. Mike has some like impeccable notes too that he takes.
I only do that because I forget things almost immediately.
Yeah.
But,
And I forget them almost immediately too. But since
Yeah.
you take notes, you could jog both of our memories with your notes. So I
I'm
love
like
it.
a goldfish. If I turn
I
around
love it,
twice, I
yeah.
don't know where I'm at.
Yeah, no, I mean it's
So,
great. No, it's really good stuff you get.
Thank you, Artie. Thank you, Mason. Thank you to you, Rusty.
Yeah, thank you to you too, Mike.
This
I mean,
has been,
without you, this I wouldn't be sitting here doing a show at 8 o'clock at night.
It's been a buttload of fun, and
I've enjoyed every minute of it.
I-
We need
we-
to set up San Marcos to the college so we can go see the
Yeah.
King of the Hill stuff. I'm
So
going to contact the college and ask them.
At Texas State,
Yeah.
they have an actual repository of King of the Hill information.
Yeah, so Mike Judge, being a Texas resident, I wouldn't call him a native. Well, I mean, he might as well
don't
be a
think he is. He's
native.
from
He might
Dallas,
as well
right?
be a native. Well, he's not from Dallas. He's from Ecuador.
Oh, same thing.
He wasn't
Sure.
born. He wasn't born in the United States. His parents were like scientists in a different country.
Dallas,
but
Ecuador.
but either way, he's a Texan, and so he donated all of this stuff,
Yeah.
scripts, animation cells, all kind of stuff to the college. so they could have it and archive it for them.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. It's easier to give it to a college to archive because it gives all the kids there all the experience of doing stuff in whatever field that is the archival.
So I'm gonna
historians.
make this commitment to you, Rusty. By the end of the year, you and I will do a show from Texas State, and we will tour the information that's there.
Okay,
how about
that's
that?
good. And then
all right,
well,
you may have to
that
remind
has to go
me.
on YouTube. That
you may
has
have to
go on
remind
YouTube.
me, but still,
because I don't think there's any. I've looked to see if there's any YouTube video.
Yeah.
If we could get San Marcos, the college in Texas State,
Let's
to let
go.
us in with a camera to record it.
Let's go.
We gotta have.
Let's
we
get it.
gotta have Mason too.
No
if he could
flash
go. If
photography,
not,
but still,
I mean, I would
yeah.
like Mason to go, but if he's not able to,
Yeah.
it is. What
it'd
it
be a
is.
fun road
Yeah,
trip.
yeah, yeah.
All right, well, that is it for us.
That's
and
it.
Once again, thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, we
please
appreciate
look
it so
for
much.
us at RogueMediaNetwork.com.
.com.
And we'll see you again next time.
Wimatanye.
We Matanye, indeed. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Woo!
They gave it 1 star.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.